Hello everybody and welcome back to a guy who really needs a job. My name is Evan Edinger and today it's another episode of British versus American about resumes and CVs, because this is one of those really interesting things that is so different between countries that I just want to talk a lot about. Also, by the way, today's video is sponsored by NordVPN, so you'll be hearing more about that in the middle of the video. But one of the weirdest and hardest things that came from me moving from the US to the UK was trying to get a job, because something that I took for granted so much in the US, like, oh, this is a good resume, been checked over by multiple people, completely different in the UK. People look at it like, where's the other pages? Or this has no character. First of all, rude. Secondly, that makes sense, okay? Different country, different culture, different style resume slash CV. I'm saying it slash because in America, I don't think anyone really says CV. We just say resume. In the UK, no one says resume. They all say curriculum vitae, like they're Italian, Roman, I don't know. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's a global pandemic happening, so it's kind of hard for me to get guests on this show. But actually, instead, I've got one of my American friends and two of my British friends to send in their CVs to me so we can compare and I can really show you how interestingly different both of these systems are. The first one we're gonna look at is actually a very old one of mine from 5 or 6 years ago. So here, let me open this up. Beautiful. As you can see, we have one solid page. I was always told, if you write more than one page, no one's gonna look at it, because I was told that the hiring manager is going to look at every resume for about 5 to 10 seconds at most. So you really just gotta hit them really where it hurts. You go big bold, okay, I've got head of user acquisition, and then little bullet points if they really wanna get fancy. You know, just go down professional experience, we got job, you know, education there. And also, not just education, gotta focus on the honors that I received, okay? Magna cum laude. That's not just the name of a porno. We also got IT skills. Big word of advice, don't be me. I put things on here that maybe I shouldn't have. Oh, actually, no, I corrected it at this point. Originally, I was someone that was like, I took C++ in college. I'll put that on my CV. Don't do that. If you ever get asked, like, oh, do you know what this type of command is? And you're like, I took entry-level C++, I'm so sorry. You won't get the job. So, yeah, don't be me. Also, I put things on here that aren't necessarily catered to the job, such as Photoshop CS6. It's a bit outdated. Like I said, this is an old resume. Of Final Cut Pro X. Logic Studio. What was I thinking? That maybe these marketing jobs were like, Evan, could you whip us up some fat beats? Actually, true facts, I did have one company ask me to edit a video for them internally of their CEO being interviewed. They did not like my editing style, said, these jump cuts, can't deal with them. Sorry, Raf. Anyway, at the bottom here, we have accomplishments. This is the one place on an American style resume you can kind of put a little bit of character, just a little bit of things that maybe you're interested in. I'm interested in being verified, I guess. That was a big deal back in the day, 5 years ago. Different websites I've been on, hit the Reddit front page. Listen, I was applying for marketing positions. It makes sense. And then, interestingly, lastly here, we have Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America, which, fun fact, you put that on a resume in the States, boom, they're hiring you to be the CEO. You get jobs. I was sold this dream, this get Eagle Scout, get job dream. I move countries, it loses all of its weight. I put it on my CV here and people go, oh yes, Mr. Edinger, I was just having a look at your CV. Did you mean my resume? Did you just correct me? No, resume. Anyway, as I was saying, having a look at your CV here, what's with the Boy Scout thing? Oh, no, actually, it says I was an Eagle Scout, because I went on a couple camping trips when you were a boy. Well, no, actually, I did a lot of leadership activities as well. Listen, Evan, it doesn't matter anyway, because thanks to Theresa May's new policy, we can't hire Americans. So, better luck somewhere else. See ya, doors that way. And if you delve deeper into all these like little bulleted points, they're always those standard like CV words that show that you can do actionable things that had a good effect. We've got scripted, generated, created, utilized, managed, spearheaded, executed. You know what? I want to get executed just reading all these sexy, sexy words. Spearheaded eHarmony Pinterest campaign that increased following by 2,500% within 3 months. That was what I was taught was the very standard, like, this is what I can do. I'm pretty sure that's still a thing, but like I said, when I moved to the UK, everyone was like, what, do you have a personality? But luckily, because the YouTube stuff I had on here, it kind of added intrigue to me. The next one we're gonna look at is one of my other friends who's currently in the States, works for quite a big boy company, and he's got, as you can see, a one-page resume. You know, give them everything they need. We have, starts off with achievements and skills, which, as opposed to mine, I have mine at the bottom. It makes sense to have it at the top so you can just quickly surface level see, like, yo, if you're gonna read my resume, just read these. I've got some good achievements across everything. But then we go to the professional experience here. So yet again, very similar to mine. Company, all the different CV words, company CV words, company CV words, and then we have leadership experience. Got a lot of that, it seems. And then lastly, the education. Just so you know, he's pretty well educated in drama. All right, so if you want some drama. I'm just kidding, not trying to dunk on you, buddy. Anyway, I thought this was a really very good example of another US style CV, because as you can see, only one page. And before we get into the British CVs, actually, it's time for a word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by NordVPN. Now, NordVPN have been a long-time supporter of this channel, and a long-time supporter of keeping your data private. Now, I don't normally speak about my privates, but if I did, okay, with one click with NordVPN, I'd make sure that my ISP and any government agency would not be able to listen in. Oh, darn it. I really wanted to hear about his privates. Darn you, NordVPN! Even better yet, because NordVPN allows you to change your browsing location, it means you have access to so much more content. I can now watch American Netflix, which for some reason allows you to watch movies that they think only Americans want to watch. And yes, I might be American, but now I can pretend I live there still, all right? The reversal of the brand. But if you guys can believe it, NordVPN has a big offer with code EVAN, or visit nordvpn.com/Evan. You're able to get a 2-year plan, an additional month for free, and all that's at a huge discount. So be sure to check out that link. There are definitely no other links allowed. Just Evan. And without further ado, thank you NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. Let's check out the British CVs. Thank you very much, Desk Evan. All right, let's look at my British friends' CVs. Now, here's my first one here. This one, wow, it's quite a talented lad we got here. Yet again, we have 2 pages as opposed to the 1 in the US one. Starts off with a surface level, just the main stuff. We got CTO. All right, we got the roles. VP of Engineering, Problem Solver, Technical Leader, Polyglot Engineer. He knows loads of languages. You know, I don't know if he knows German, but he definitely knows C++, a little Python, Technology Lover, and Formula 1 Obsessive. So already, he's actually got more character in his one line than my entire CV. And also, yet again, this is quite interesting, best bits. I don't know if, do we say that in the US? Here's the best bits. Either way, it's like the achievements and skills. Put that at the top, and it's kind of just putting the best things that you've done in your role. Really interesting, nicely formatted with a left-right 2-column structure. I kind of like this a lot more than the 2 US ones that I've been looking at so far. We have experience, here's the job, and then we actually have sentences. Now this is quite irregular. I've not seen many CVs with big sentences here, but I guess when you've got like such a profile where you're like, bro, I'm CTO. Listen, read, all right? You're gonna learn from me reading my CV. I guess that's the way it's gonna look. Also, we have all these different companies. I joined Smartly, yada yada, worked with CTO, Discovery Channel. Everything looks pretty nice. Goes down to education at the bottom, math and stats. Good, I don't know what this was. Then at the bottom we have skills, all the different languages. His skill is in architecture. I'm assuming that means something regarding computer programming. He's also really good at like just building houses. But also, yeah, really nice looking CV. I would hire him immediately. We've got a lot of good stuff in here, and it does seem like, I don't know, I really like that he has something like Technology Lover and Formula 1 Obsessive in there, because it just adds a bit more character, but not an Eagle Scout, is he? No. Now we have one more British CV that I want to contrast to the other ones here. Now, if we look at this one, wow. I just think this one's genuinely formatted so nice. Like, it looks so good. You can really tell that the previous 3 were a bit more mathematical and clinical in their job roles, I guess. I'm even judging myself in that because that's what I am. Whereas this one, we have someone that is working currently in marketing, and you can really tell they're very good at marketing themselves. This is another 2-column system. We've got education on the left, skills and certifications right there on the left, and then we have the professional experience on the right. I really like how much information is just popping right there. Also, very popular technique in the UK that I've seen. You start with a profile. It's kind of like best bits, except you've got the sentences. I am hardworking, creative, and friendly individual with excellent IT skills. Bam, that's your sentence, that's your 5 seconds. I enjoy that. Worked at loads of companies. Scrolling down, yet again, we have 2 pages. This second page here, we've got extracurricular, all right? Not just for high school these days. We've also got, she likes climbing. She was in the marketing society. She was a student ambassador. She has an interest in video games, photography, rock climbing, skiing, food. Like, you can really tell what the type of person is that wrote this CV, because she's put more character into it. Because the thing that I've found is that in the US, I was always told that you don't want to have any character in your resume because that can be used against you. Whereas I find that in the UK, that's actually used as a positive, because you don't want to hire a robot man who just does all this, the work that you want him to do. You want someone that you could talk to possibly about the footy, if you're into that, or photography or rock climbing. A lot of people are into rock climbing these days. However, being into health and wellness, I don't know what that is. To me, that's a buzzword, so I'm gonna message my friend and be like, excuse me, I'm gonna quiz you. How often do you meditate, okay? Because I'm on a 332-day streak, right? Flex. And then, at the bottom, interestingly enough, we've got volunteering. So if you do any volunteering, really good idea to put that in there, just because it shows you do more than just self-centered things, I guess you could say. So either way, this has been really interesting, I think, just to look at the difference between these two, the two US ones, and how no matter where you're applying, no matter what country you're applying to for a job, it would be a really good idea to cater your resume to the job. So don't just stick with your standard countries if you're moving countries like I did, because it did hold me back quite a lot. Luckily, I did have the weird, interesting things about like, wow, this guy's got a YouTube channel with like 20,000 subs. And I'm like, yeah, that helped me get a foot in the door. That helped me despite my terrible, terrible looking CV in terms of it was American. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's quite of a different style one than I usually do for British versus American, but it was interesting to me. Anyway, I thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Wow. Did you know Did you know you could subscribe to my channel? It's free. Jeez, that's really nice of you. I know you've already done it. Anyway, I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
Do you ever feel like your life is in shambles? So does Evan Edinger. Subscribe today. Join an army of over 600,000 people whose lives are also in shambles. Please, click the like button below if you like living like an absolute trash panda.
Trash panda.
Trash panda. My room around me is horrendous, but all you can see is white. Oh, just a gum wrapper.
Life's in disarray.